welcome back to our channel. As most of you are aware, this week is Carers Week. So I just thought I'd do a second video just on the impact that it can have on the carer when caring for someone who has a mental illness. I guess this would probably pretty much be similar, maybe not all of the points, but be similar to what it's like for those caring for someone with a physical illness. So yeah, I guess some of them will cross over, but I thought I'd do it specifically for a mental illness, just because I think there are some points that will differ. So the first thing that I think has the most impact, which I guess would be the same for someone with a physical illness too, is you have to accept that you will have to sacrifice parts of your life. So this could be in a small way, it could be in a much bigger way. It depends on, I suppose, your role as the carer, if you're like a full-time carer, if you're like a sibling or a friend. So for example, from my experience as a sibling, we were in secondary school when my sister was suffering with anorexia, and you know, there were places like we'd get invited out and I wouldn't want to go without my sister. My sister generally couldn't go, either wasn't allowed or wasn't up to it. So you know, generally I came out of school with not that many friends, I guess, because we didn't really get involved in the social scene. So yeah, I guess that's one part, but I never really felt that at the time. I don't think that I was sacrificing anything, because I only wanted to do what was best for my sister anyway. But I suppose looking back on it, that's something that was probably sacrificed there. It's going to be other things as well, like, let me try and think. I'm trying to think back to a long time now. But even now, like, Sam suffers with her OCD a bit, so there's going to be certain things where she might not feel comfortable going to certain places, or she might not be up for, if you've, actually not so much now, but sometimes if you make plans and, you know, she's struggling a little bit that day, then the plans might be changed. Really, that's nothing. I just rather that she is happy in herself. But you know, some people, I suppose, you just have to be aware that that's something that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, when we were younger as well, I guess it was things like family time, like going out for dinner as a family and stuff like that. Obviously, that was really hard. Yeah, lots of things, I guess. But yeah, mainly like on a social aspect, from a sibling's point of view, you will have to sacrifice parts of your life to care for that person. So the next thing is, and I think this is maybe more related to mental illness, but could be physical, correct me if I'm wrong. So I think you have to understand and acknowledge that you're not always going to understand fully, which can be really frustrating. So, for example, obviously with a mental illness, unless you've got that really going on in your head, you're not always going to understand why they feel the way they do, or why they're thinking the things they do. And yeah, it can be frustrating. It can be, you know, you can get like annoyed and angry about it. But that's, I feel like you have to kind of accept that to understand that that's how it is. Another thing is the impact it has on your own mental health. So yeah, when I was younger, I think I really struggled with it. I don't know that I really realised I did at the time. Maybe I didn't completely pin the two together. But yeah, looking back, it was really hard. And I think if you are struggling, it's probably good to talk to someone about it, even though, like I said, like I was a teenager as well. So I probably didn't really get that the two were maybe connected. But yeah, it's hard, and your own mental health will struggle, and you'll probably go through, I think, like things like anxiety is a major thing, and probably mixed with a bit of depression, because you're just anxious all the time. You just want your loved one to be better, you want them to be happy, and it's just rubbish watching them be unhappy, basically, and struggle in their own head. I think another thing that is massive, probably for both physical and mental, is to realise that you're only a human and you're not a machine. You can't be there 24/7. You can't, you know, you don't have all the answers. You might get things wrong. It's a learning curve. You know, you might experience situations that you've never experienced before. So I think it's important to know that you're going to make the mistakes, know that you're not always going to make the right decision, and actually know that you need some time out. Like, you can't always, I don't know, you can't use all your energy, because then you'll have nothing left for yourself. And I know it's said a lot, but the person who you're caring for, you know, is only as strong as you are. So if you're lacking energy, it can, you know, it can make you like agitated and yeah, impatient and stuff like that, and that's like the opposite of what the person who you're caring for needs. So I think it's important to understand that you are only human. If you have got other people that you can you know, lean on from time to time, I think that's amazing. Not everyone has that, but there are lots of carer support groups and stuff like that that are around, that I think people find really helpful, and it's good to know that you're not alone. I mean, as it is Carers Week, there's lots of statistics out there. You know, there's so many carers in the world, not just in the UK. So, you know, you're not alone, even though it probably feels like it sometimes. So I think it's just good to reach out and talk to others who have had a similar experience. And then lastly, I was just going to say, sort of like a different impact, but I think it's important to have a little bit of your own life. It's probably easier said than done, like I said, because if you haven't got people you can like lean on for support, I don't know, maybe I've never really looked, but I think there will be people out there who can help. I think it's important to have, even if it's literally just going for a walk for 30 minutes, meeting up with a friend for coffee for an hour, it's just important to realise that you are still your own life. So you do need to just branch out a tiny bit, just to have a little bit of downtime. I guess I did when I was younger. Maybe I used to go shopping with a friend without Sam and stuff like that. My parents probably sorry, I had an itch. My parents probably pushed me to do that. So yeah, I think I remember like Dad used to take me out on my own and stuff like that. Oh, I'm trying to think back, like how many years? Like 15 years. But anyway, yeah, so I just think that's really important. Caring for someone with a mental illness literally is really difficult, and you know, I applaud everyone who's doing it and who has come through the other side. Yeah, if anyone has any comments below, please do message, because I'm happy to talk to anyone if they're struggling. You know, if you're a sibling or anything like that, then please just send me a message. But yeah, I just thought I'd do that, and I hope this video helps. I hope it helps carers feel less alone, because you know, you're definitely not alone in this. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your Friday, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.